Welcome back. I've gotten a few questions about this big 3-bin compost pile, and I want to answer them today. So I am going to answer them today. And one of the primary questions that comes up when you see a compost pile that has a bottom on it is, shouldn't your compost pile be right on the ground? Why would it have a bottom on it? Today I'm going to answer that question. This is surrounded by concrete walls, concrete floor. There's this idea that if you don't compost on top of the ground, you're not going to get the fungi and the bacteria and the worms to do the good work for you. That's not really true. Yeah, there are times that it's easy to just throw things right on top of the ground. Most of my compost piles have been right on top of the ground, particularly if I'm going to garden in that area later. If I'm going to garden in an area, remember when you compost, a lot of the leachate is going down into the ground beneath it. You'll actually darken the soil beneath it. The soil gets richer and more beautiful for a few inches below a compost pile, and probably further than that where the nutrients are going. So I've often composted right on top of an area that I'm going to use as a garden bed later. And yes, the worms come up into it. We get all kinds of fungi activity and bacterial activity, etc. But on the other hand, have you ever cleaned out the gutters on a house? They don't have dirt beneath them, right? They're just hanging there on the edge of the house. But you'll get this beautiful black compost from all the leaves that are falling and washing down into the gutters. They're contained. Nature is really, really good at breaking things down. So why wouldn't I just throw everything directly on top of the ground? That's probably the next question. Okay, so sure, things will still compost on a hard surface, but why wouldn't you get the maximum that you can? I'll tell you, it's because of roots. It's because of roots. We have bamboo right back here. We have an oak tree over there. We have a mimosa tree over there. We have oak trees and cherry trees and sweet gum trees and all kinds of other trees that are around here. Trees are exceptionally good at getting into your compost, particularly if you're going to be composting over a period of time. Now, I learned this when I was quite young. My grandma and grandpa had a compost pile in their backyard. And it was just like this, where they had blocks stacked up, except it wasn't mortared together, and it did not have a bottom on it. They just took a bunch of extra cinder blocks, and a friend of theirs named Gary, who's a friend of mine as well, stacked this beautiful little bin out there for them to throw all their kitchen waste in, the grass clippings and all that kind of stuff, because my grandma wanted it for her gardening. So they put all that material out there, and over the course of a year or so, they filled up this beautiful block enclosure that was underneath an old tangerine tree. And then one day, my grandma said, you know what? Why don't you go out there and get some of that compost out of there? It's getting pretty full. You want to go dig it? And I said, oh yeah, I'd love to see what it looks like. So I went out there and I pulled aside the block on the front and started digging it out. What I found very rapidly was that I could not get a shovel into it. I was trying to use a flat shovel and I was jamming it in there and fighting with it. The entire thing was full of roots. The plants will go right up there and put all the roots into it. That's fine if you want to feed the trees, but if you're trying to make production compost for your gardens, that's not what you want. You don't want the tree eating all of your hard work. It's great to chop and drop to feed your trees, but this is for a different purpose. This is for our gardens and to compost on a large scale, because we're expanding and getting local businesses to give us extra scraps, sawmills, restaurants, coffee shops, so we can compost on a larger scale and we can turn it over and use it for the gardens. We don't want it to go to the trees, even though we're happy to feed trees most of the time. The trees can take care of themselves. We need this compost for ourselves. So what we have is a system that is really easy to manage. If we had problems with wildlife in the future, we could simply put some boards across the front of here. We did that on our old system. We haven't found it necessary to do it here yet, but this is wide enough so if we had a tractor in the future, we could use a tractor bucket to load and unload compost out of here. We've got peanut waste, we have sawmill waste, we have scraps from a restaurant, we've got grass clippings and manure and all kinds of other things that go into here to build the system. And it's really, really easy to just clean it up and move it around. Tree roots cannot get into it. And if it starts to drift out the front, you just throw it back in over it. It's super slick and easy to use and easy to then take, and when I'm ready, throw it over the fence into the next bin. So do you need to compost like this? Absolutely not. Most people don't need to compost like this. I think sometimes people come in and they see recent videos that I'm done and they're like, I don't need that system. Like I had somebody recently say, well, not everybody has a few clear acres to work with. I said, well, yeah, most people don't. Do you remember a few years ago when I was in an apartment? You know, there are times when you have what you have and where you just have to make do with what you have. And that's most of the time. So I could watch videos of ranchers and say, well, that's really great if you've got 5,000 acres of open range. I can't do anything. No, don't do that. Say, what can you do with what you have? That might be putting a little trench in your backyard underneath a fig tree and throwing your compost in it. That might be composting in a little bin or in a little circle or inside of pallets, or just sticking sticks in the ground and building a little compost in layers on top of it. It does not have to be complicated. This is a way overkill system because this is a commercial style system, still backyard size, but it's enough to give us a ton of compost, which is what we need for our plant nursery. Are you running a plant nursery in your backyard? If you're not, you don't need a system like this. You probably don't even need it if you were. You might have another way that you want to compost. I just, by golly, wanted to build one of these. So this is not a recommendation to everybody that you have to compost this way. We've composted in barrels, we've composted on the ground, we've composted in trenches. We've done all kinds of different compost systems over the year, which you can look back. We've had little worm bins underneath the sink. We've had big composting toilet systems back when we were living half off grid in the Caribbean. Different systems, different times, different amounts of your time availability. And the important thing is that you're not throwing this stuff in the landfill. Stop throwing food scraps in the landfill. That's what I want you to do. However you do it, don't get hung up with you don't have perfect right now. You will never have perfect. We never have perfect. If you're grateful and you're thankful for what you have, just be thankful for what you have. And if you feel ambitious to build something bigger, build something bigger. But be thankful. And that's what I have to tell myself all the time, because the Lord didn't like the Israelites grumbling in the desert very much. So I'm trying not to grumble. And to just be thankful for whatever we have at whatever time we have it. So I wanted to answer that question about, does your compost pile need a bottom or not? No, and I have found that worms make their way quite well in there. When I had a worm bin inside of our house, one day it got a little too wet in there and the worms were climbing up the walls. So if they can do that, they can obviously make the 3-inch jump into here if they want to. And I'm probably gonna take some of my composting worms and throw them in there anyways. But you know, you make do with what you have, and don't worry. If it has a bottom on it, it stops the tree roots from coming up, and that's very important where we are, and that's the primary reason we do it. Don't get too hung up on a system. Remember, nature throws stuff on the ground and it rots. If it works in your gutters, it will work on top of concrete. I scraped about 6 inches of beautiful compost off a concrete slab of an old broken house when we were clearing a piece of land once. Beautiful black compost on top of a slab because all the trees had dropped their leaves there for a long time. Use what you have. It doesn't have to be that complicated. So thanks for joining me. If you want to learn more about composting in every kind of easy and simple and cheap way possible, check out my book, Compost Everything, The Good Guide to Extreme Composting. Nothing says I love you like giving the gift of compost everything to someone special in your life. So I'll put a link to that below. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all the good questions and for giving me things to think about. And until next time, may your thumbs always be green.